Hi guys, it's Dean from Barrow again. We've got another Q&A time today. Just trying to answer the questions again, a bit varied, trying to keep different questions coming every session just to keep you more involved and sorting out the problems that arise from yourself. So without further ado, I think we'll get started this week and get straight cracking into it because we've got a few to get into. So number one, we've got Dan from Tunbridge Wells. What is the best Barrow on the market, powered or pushed? Good question, Dan. Well, I'm probably going to be a bit biased as I designed 90% of carport was Barrows, including the powered Barrows. So obviously when I'm going to go to powered, I'm going to say the extreme 24 volt on the Mark 8, because not just because I was part design of them. It was mainly just the grunt they've got. They've got a lot more power than anything else out there when you're taking the sort of kilos that we are taking today. So, stick with carport. You know their ability and what they can do. There's been many reviews done by thousands of you over the years. So I've got to go with the carport ones, just for their power and make and just lastability of the thing and the quality of the parts that's used. As regard on push barrows, I personally always loved the Barrow that is not here anymore, which was the low loader, which was a brilliant design on the push barrows because the weight balance over the front wheel was absolutely fantastic on it, which started all the counterbalance off on all the trolleys, and it was literally just a flick of the arms and the Barrow opened itself. It was brilliant, but it never took off. Whether it was the looks of the things, and I know a lot of you guys, well, as are known in the trade, they call it tackle tart, but if it don't look right, we don't buy it. So, in practicality, the low loader was by far, when testing, the best Barrow I'd ever tried, and it just, it veered away. The sales weren't there, and the Mark II Fat Boy, etc., took over and started a different form of Barrow. But in my eyes, that was the best Barrow. I mean, out of the Barrows that's out there now, it's probably got to be the big boy. I mean, it's based on the Extreme. It's got the pram style handles that are very comfortable to use. You get that brake on it, which is handy when you're in the back of the van and you're strapping it down, or you're at a swim with a severe bank. So the brake came in handy, and just the stability of the thing. I mean, we was used to like the Mark 4S, which is basically what a Mark 8 is. But they're nice, they're nimble, they're easy to move, but, they did suffer a little bit with the tipping on them. But the Extreme solved that, and it was a lot more stable Barrow. Bit of a tank, but for the amount of gear we take these days, I think we need a bit of a Sherman going down to the swim, because each year we seem to get more and more tackle, and we need more stuff because we're having longer sessions. But so I hope that answers your question, Dan, that, they're probably the Barrows that I would favour out of all the rest. But I mean, you all have your own opinion on the matter, and it depends what you're after in your own Barrow. So on that one, it's just a case of using them and having a go, trial and error, and making your own mind up which one's the best, mate. Right, the next question, I don't have to look at my paperwork because it's from a person called Dean from Barrow Buddies, which is me. So this question's from me to you guys. I mean, I'm after all the things that you think on your Barrow you haven't got and you'd like to go on there. So if you could send me and slip me a message over on my Facebook page or Messenger, whatever's easiest for you, even give me a bell. If you've got an idea or something that you would love being put on a Barrow, it don't matter, don't have to be powered, it could be a normal Barrow, whatever. Something that you really think, that'd come in handy and that'd help me out, and no one out there's got it. So just send me a message with any of your ideas and we can look at them. Maybe it'll come out, who knows? So that question's from me, guys. Cheers. Right, we've got Kieran from Enfield. You said, Dean, you was bringing out a stabiliser bar for the Mark 8. Is it out yet? Well, Kieran, I can say that it is very close. I'm hoping everything goes to plan. It is being vigorously tested as we speak. The prototype has been made. It's been put on a Barrow. I will be showing you a picture of it straight after this question, so you can have a look at it then and see what you think. I'm not 100% sure whether it's going to do its job. So it's out there going around the lakes at the moment, being tested to the max and seeing if it's going to do the job it meant to and keep you from stop tipping over. So I hope that's answering your question, Kieran. And shortly, hopefully within a few weeks, we're going to get it back with the results. Fingers crossed that it's going to work, and if it does, it will be for sale straight away. Obviously, if it don't, it will get tweaked until we do get it working. Things don't always go to plan straight away, but it is well in progress of coming, mate. So hang in there, and I'm sure it'll be available fairly soon. Cheers, Kieran. Right, I've got Chris from Maidstone. I have an old carp porter, and my charger is very slow. Is this the only charger that is available on the market which I can use with a power porter? I think my power porter is a Mark 5. I've sent you a picture of the charger I'm using, but is there a better one out there? Right, Chris, I'm going to look at your pictures in a minute, and just bear with me. Yeah, you do have the old charger there, mate. Carp porter do a newer charger than that, so if you have got that one that you've got, it was quite slow and it did have a red light that dimmed when it was fully charged. And you never really, it was quite hard to tell when you was fully charged. But the new one has like a different system. It has like an amber and a green light on it, which when obviously it's fully charged, it will go to solid green, and it does charge in about half the time that you take to with your one, mate. So I would definitely go for the new style charger. I mean, even if you've got a 12 volt, all you've got to do is turn the charging points round where you plug it into your battery, the little plastic Torbury connectors, and they just slide up on themselves, turn round, so you can change which way they go, so it will fit even into the old 12 volts. So I'll put a picture on here of the two chargers after, and then you can decide which one you've got. I'll put old and new, and you can upgrade and get the newer one, and you can make charging a bit less of a pain up the bum and a bit quicker for you, mate. So you can go from there. Cheers. Right, we've got Malcolm from Chichester. Dean, are you going to bring out a back wheel swivel system? I have actually made the odd prototype of this, Malcolm. The trouble is, you need quite a big swivel wheel, obviously similar size to what a Mark 8 has on it now. But the cost is going to be quite expensive, because even for me to buy, I've been sourcing out different companies that sell these swivel wheel casters, just the wheels on their own that spin, and then obviously I would have to fabricate the metal work to go and fit into your back leg. But the cost, I'm going against it. I mean, I don't know. I need your point of view. Perhaps I'm thinking too much above. But they're coming into me at £38 a wheel at trade each one. So, you know, you're talking over £75 cost just for the wheels without the fabrication, spraying, and then obviously you've got to try and make a little profit on it as well. So, I mean, I could probably do them, but the cost is going to come out at like £100, £125, which I thought was quite a lot of money for a back wheel system. I mean, don't get me wrong, if it works, it's going to be a godsend, because you're going to be able to swivel in a complete circle on the spot. You're never going to go out of line and need wheel alignment, and you're going to be able to steer it like a car, and you know, you're going to have the best manoeuvrability possible. But it is an option, but I need the feedback from you guys to tell me whether the cost, you know, it's going to be too much, because, you know, times are hard, and 125 quid, you know, is quite a bit of money to some people. And I just need your feedback. So if you guys could send me a message of whether you think £125 is going to be too much, not to bother, or you think that's fine, just go ahead, send me a messages. And, you know, if I get enough feedback, then obviously we can have a go and see what we can do. Cheers. Right, we've got William from Watford. I have an old Mark 5 power porter with the old type electrics on it, but I've bought the new pram style big boy handle set with new back leg system with wheels, as I wanted to convert mine so it looks like an extreme 24 volt and has the feel of one, but I can't seem to get the whole hand controller to fit. As in the picture I've left, can you have a look at this, and can it be adapted? Yeah, you do have the old square oblong block, which I will be putting a picture after this comment so people can see the picture and know what electrics we're talking about. The trouble you're having with that, William, is with the new hand control, it can be done because you get different little inserts inside the U-pit of plastic, which allows you for different thicknesses of steel when bolting on. But with the old ones, you didn't. It was just an aluminium block and it had a cutout in the end. Obviously that's made for a 7/8 piece of steel, where you're trying to put it now on the pram style that has 1 inch steel. So it's that 1/4 inch you've got to, you know, get rid of. There is a way around it. I mean, what you've got to do is take it off your handle. That aluminium block has a little ridge, if you notice, either side, top and bottom, where it's shaped to take the 7/8. What you need to do is sand that ridge away. Obviously, don't get anywhere near the wires on the left. Just stick to the open U part on them where you went, because it went over the bar and it had 2 bolts that went in that clamped it to the handle. So take that little edge, you'll see that little edge either side, top and bottom, on both sides. You've got to either file it away, sand it down, but don't sand it down so there's nothing. Just do it so it's dead level and it's a flat piece of aluminium and a flat piece of aluminium at the top, like a fork that's going through, without the ridges. Once you take them ridges away, do it bit by bit so you know how much you've got to take off. Then that will open it up so you can slide it onto the extreme handle and it'll give you that bit more movement, because you don't want to try and wedge it on as it is, because you're just going to force it open and you know, make it sprag out. It's going to look awful. So sand them bits or file them away, get them nice and flat either side. Then it's going to slide over. It's going to give you that extra room so that you can put it on the inch, and then just the same, put your 2 bolts through, tighten them up, not too hard because the alley will bend, nip them up, and job done, mate. That'll get you out of trouble. And you will need to rearrange your centre cable, so tow your cable ties off of that. Connects it all up when it's all on your handle and you're going straight through to your wheel, and then just reroute your centre cable so you've got enough room to use your adjustment for your height. So I hope that will get you out of trouble, William, and you ain't wasted your money on a new set, and you can still use what you've got and get you sorted and get you out of trouble. So cheers, mate. Right, we've got George from Sunderland. I want to make my Mark 8 longer so I can take me and my 2 mates' gear on. I have a Mark 8 power porter and I also have an old Mark 4S frame. Can I have the 2 welded together? Well, George, you want to make the Orient Extreme Express, I'm gathered. So that's going to be something to have a look at, and it should be a bit of a crack. In theory, yeah, you probably could, as you've got the other frame. But what I'd suggest, if you're going to cut down your Mark 4S frame, I would have the back and use the back as a front, because obviously with the back, you've still got the back leg system and you've still got that extra set of wheels. If you're going to make a frame super long like you're going to, like a double-decker bus, you're going to need more stability at the front. You can't just have that front overhanging I don't know, say another 30, 40 inches without anything supporting it underneath, because all the stress is going to be put on the joint where you're joining it and welding the parts in. So you need something underneath there to support that weight, because bearing in mind, if you're doing it that long, your barrel's going to be holding like 150 kilos plus. As for electrics, if you're going on a really hilly venue where you go a lot, then I wouldn't really advise it, because you're taking extra weight, you've got extra wheel drag, and going up an hill you probably need to give it a little helping hand, because it's a hell of a lot of struggle to get it up there with that sort of length and weight and wheelbase on it. If you're on a pretty flat syndicate that you go to, and you know, it's got the odd little wheel, then I don't see why not. It is something, you know, you've got to experiment around with it and mess about with, but if you've got the time and money to play with it, I mean, cut that down so you got the back. It's going to give you an option of that extra Y bar, so you got one front and back as well, and it's going to, you know, you've got the strengthener bits on the end of the handle, which helps. And you've also going to have that folding leg, which is going to come down. So you're not, now you're going to have your power wheel in the middle, your 2 tri-wheels at the front and your 2 tri-wheels at the back. I mean, once you've cut it, it needs a bit of 7/8 steel sliding in, halfway in, so you've got a good bit of meat in there and half sticking out. Then it needs welding all the way round, and then you'll be able to slide that 7/8 into your existing inch on your normal barrow where you'd put your front bar in. Obviously, you'd have to take that out of the way and put it in the back end of your new part you're putting on. It's getting a bit complicated, guys, I know, but, you know, weld 2 bits of 7/8 in, then you can slide it in, you can lock it off, or weld it round where you've put it in, you know. Even locking it, if you've got that wheel support underneath, it probably still will work if you've got a nice meaty thumb screw in there, or even nut and bolt it if you didn't want to weld it that in. Like I said, what strain and what power you're going to get out of it, who knows? It's going to be something to look at, and it's going to turn a few heads, I could assure you. But, you know, it's something that in theory could be done. But it's just, you know, I could do it even. But, you know, if you wanted to have a crack yourself and go for it, you can. But you may need a bit more extra power, or take another battery with you, because I think it'll run your battery out a bit quicker than normal with that extra half a barrel on it as well. So, you know, if you're up for it, George, give it a go. And if you do it yourself, I'd love to see a little video of it. Or, you know, if you want me to do it, give me a bell, and I'm sure we can knock something up, mate. So, all the best on that one. You give me a smile anyway. You made me smile. It ain't very often. And you give me a little chuckle there, George. So, all the best on that one, mate. Right, we've got Steve from Taunton. Nice place to country, Steve. Do you do the straight handles for my Mark II? As my friend has them, as he's got an old Mark II, and it feels great, and I can't get them anywhere. Well, Steve, I think there is a company that's doing one up north if you do a bit of research on it. I can't remember the name of it. But, I mean, if you didn't want to pay for that, literally all you got to do is buy 2 lengths of 7/8 steel, about 30, 40 inches long, and, you know, just slide them in the end. You've only got to put like a push bike handlebar grip, what you can buy from any bike shop, and put them on, and put a pop rivet drill hole, put a pop rivet in the end to keep the handle grips on. Then you're going to have a nice straight, it's just a straight bit of metal with an hand grip on it. And if you don't want them to push all the way in your frame and get stuck, just put a pop rivet at the other end like normal handles do, with a washer underneath, just so it hits the end and you can't slide them in too far, and you know exactly how far right and left's going in, so they're going to stop at the right place. But it's literally as easy as that. 2 bits of the right size steel that fits inside your frame, with a little bit of thickness to the wall of it, because you need a bit of strength, you don't want them too thin. And put a couple of grips on, mate. Sorted. You'd probably do it for a lot cheaper than what you could buy from anyone else. So I would go down that road personally, mate. Right, I've got Philip from Liverpool. Can I have a Y-bar bracket welded on the front, as my Barrow does not have the V front bar on it, just a straight one, and I do like to secure my rods securely on my Barrow? Well, probably the easiest option, Philip, is you can buy the V-shaped front bar. I mean, there's that option. If that's not an acquired height for you, then by all means I can weld you on a little bit of inch with a weld nut on with a thumb screw, and put it on the front on one of your crossbars coming off. And you can have buy yourself another Y bar, and obviously have one front and back, if that's what you fancy, mate. So yeah, if that's what you want, and you don't want to go down the route of buying a new front bar because it's not going to be ideal for you, then give me a bell and we can put that bracket on there, and you can have the adjustable one to what height if you want. So you got one front and back, mate. Hope that helps. Right, we've got Terry from Oldham. I have an old power porter. I've sent you a picture so you know what model I've got. Yeah, I know what model you got there, Tel. It has loads of movement on the front when I pull off, and then it ends up going wonky. Can this be fixed? Terry, it can be fixed, and there is a number of reasons why you might have that play in the motor as it's going. On them ones, they only had one motor bolt in them, which held them on. You can always take that out and make sure it's not bent by rolling it on a desk or whatever and seeing if there's a bow in the bolt. If it is, put a new bolt in it, nip it up nice and tight. Because if it has got a bend in it, you might be getting like a rock out of the motor as you're starting to move. I mean, there is a number of things that can cause this. You could have excessive play on the end of your axle arms where they're bent and they're spragging out, where you've tried tightening them up too much. It's concave steel, and you're getting like a rocking motion off the front when they're tightened up. Or it could be even the R-clip, which is going through the motor itself, which drives it. on them ones. You might have play in the R-clip and you're getting the slap out of the play before the power goes, which is creating that rock and making it jerk forward. If that's the case, you need to put an oversized R-clip in the motor. It could also be that you need a crossbar with your two little spigots that's on there, putting on there with thumb screws just to tighten up the unit to make it a bit more sturdy when you're putting it on. Or you may need your spigot strengthening, which it goes on. Like I say, there's that many different aspects of why this could be doing that, which if that's the case, they'll need bits of metal sleeves going inside them to strengthen them. Then obviously once they're all strengthened, you would need the wheel realigning once it's all done. Or we could put the fixed quick release bolts in the end of them to crush the ends to stop that play side to side movement. Or it could need a number of all of them to solve this problem. Obviously need wheel realigning as well. But it can be addressed and it can be sorted. I do that in my full service. So Terry, if you want to give me a bell, and I can always sort things out. Some things, you know, might need more things doing to others, but I'll still stick at that £80 price bracket. And with 99 times out of 100, we can always get sorted. So give us a bell, mate, and I'm sure we can get something sorted on that one for you. Cheers. Right, I've got Mark from London. Do you sell water bottle or bucket clips that attach onto the frame with a thumb screw? I've looked everywhere, I can't get them anymore, and the bag ones are not ideal for me because I like using my green bottles and my camo bottles to carry them. I don't always want that bag because the bottles are different sizes. Right, Mark, well, I am bringing out a new design of Barrow bucket or bottle clip, which will go and attach under where you tighten up your sidebar. So it's going to be pretty simple. You're just going to put your existing thumb screw through this hook, tighten it off, and you're going to have a double hook, which you can fit all your bait buckets or water bottles, whatever size and shape, and put them on there. I mean, it is coming out soon. We are a few weeks away from that. It will be launched on my website, so keep your eye out. And if you're not a member of Barrow Buddies, obviously join. And you're going to be notified first, and you do get that 10% discount. So it's well worth joining Barrow Buddies on Facebook groups. So just look out for that, Mark. And the new ones will be coming out. And they not only do the job well, they look a lot better, and they fit in with a Barrow and look a treat. So keep your eyes open for that one, Mark. Right, we've got Mick from Upminster. Do you do lights for barrows? As I think this would be a winner. Well, Mick, there's already lights out there, mate. If you have a look, Carp do a bivvy light, which comes with a bracket, which you attach to your front bar, and you got your little remote control. And I'll tell you what, it's an half bright, and it's does the job excellent. So just go on Carp Porter's website and get a bivvy light. If you look, well, I'll even put a picture on there. After this, you can see what I'm talking about, and just purchase one off Carp Porter, mate, and you have lights. We see the light. Right, we're on to the last question of the day, so you ain't got to put up for me with much more longer. We've got Jim from Manchester. Dean, we all know you from Carp Porter, as you looked after us over the years. And good luck with your new venture with Barrow Buddies. Ah, thanks, Jim. That's nice to hear. Cheers, mate. We trust your judgment and your knowledge with our barrows. So why have you not brought out a power kit at a price we all can afford? Well, Jim, I could bring out a kit and sell you a hub motor from China, but I don't want to, mate, because I don't think they're up to the job. And you know, I don't want to sell things that you are going to, you know, it's going to put a bad taste in your mouth with me, because that's not what I am. I mean, for me to source out and make one to the spec of what Carp Porter are doing already or better, that is why they're so expensive. They're the parts from a CNC machine made, like the axles out of stainless steel. They use top quality motors, Parvalux. I mean, these motors, even for you to go out and buy, cost over £100 a unit just for the motor itself, what it sits on. they just use quality parts. We could do it, but the cost and layout of doing it, you know, wouldn't do it. And I could go down a cheap route and just buying some thing from China for £150, £200 and just boxing it up and selling it to you. But, you know, they're not great. They're not going to last you. And you're still going to be looking at, you know, £500 for one, which for something that maybe only going to last you a year, not really going to have a lot of grunt, not going to be up to the amount of tackle we take these days. I don't want to do that to you. I don't want to rip you off. I want you guys to be happy. Because I'm like you. I'm just a working class bloke that's, we struggle from paycheck to paycheck to pay the mortgage, to have a nice holiday or two once a year, which we all deserve. We go out and work hard. So, you know, it'd be nice to have a silver spoon in our mouth and have tons of money to throw at anything. But I'm not about that. That's not me, mate. I'm here to earn an honest buck. You know, just try and pay the bills. And I don't want to be a millionaire. I just want to live a normal life like everyone else and not have to worry about, you know, who's going to pay the next electric bill, etc. So I don't want to bring it out for that reason, mate, because if I brought one out, the cost is going to be pretty similar to what's already out there. And other than that, I don't want to bring out a cheap pile of Chinese crap. So that's why I ain't gone down that route, Jim. And I mean, if you want that, try and design your own one. Do your own motor and put it on there. Then you've only got yourself to blame if it all goes tits up. But good question. And I do get asked it quite a lot. But it's, you know, in my time of life as well, I just don't want to go there. I'm quite happy with trying to sort out smaller things and not trying to fix what ain't broke. Because there's something out there that what I think works well. And just stick with what you got, mate, and I hope that helps at the end of the day. Just like to say before I go to all you guys out there, thanks for watching the videos. Please join Barrow Buddies on Facebook. Watch my YouTube videos. Please like, subscribe and share. It's free to subscribe. You don't have to pay anything. It's totally free. Just press that red button, hit that subscribe button. Let's try and build the channel up to get more of the knowledge out there so we can help all you anglers out there, you know, get through day-to-day life with your barra. Hopefully new products coming out. It's going to improve your life in general. So a big thumbs up to all you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, hopefully. So it's bye from me now, and have a good fish there, boys.